Another reading from Chambers' Book of Days as part of the Book of Days project. This entries from January. January descriptive. January is the open gate of the year, shut until the shortest day passed, but now open to let in the lengthening daylight, which will soon fall upon dim patches of pale green, to show where spring is still sleeping. Sometimes between the hoary pillars, when the winter is mild, a few wan snowdrops will peep out and catch the faint sunlight which streams in coldly through the opening gateway, like timid messengers sent to see if spring has yet stirred from her long sleep. But it is yet too early for the hardy crocus to throw its banded gold along the pathway, and as for the primrose, it sits huddled up in its little cloak of green, or is seen peeping through its half-closed yellow eye, as if watching the snowflakes as they fall. Only the red-breasted robin, his heart filled with hope, sings his cheerful song on the naked hawthorn spray, through which the tiny buds are striving to break forth, like a herald proclaiming glad tidings, and making known, far and wide, that ere long the winter will be over and gone, and the moonlight-colored May blossoms once again appear. The history of January. It is very appropriate that this should be the first month of the year, as far as the northern hemisphere is concerned, since its beginning being near the winter solstice. The year is thus made to present a complete series of the seasonal changes and operations, including equally the first movements of spring and the death of all annual vegetation in the frozen arms of winter. Yet the earliest calendars, as the Jewish, the Egyptian, and Greek, did not place the commencement of the year at this point. It was not done till the formation of the Roman calendar, usually attributed to the second king, Numa Pompilius, whose reign is set down as terminating anno 672 BC. Numa, it is said, having decreed that the year should commence now, added 2 months to the 10 into which the year had previously been divided, calling the first Januarius in honor of Janus, the deity supposed to preside over doors, who might very naturally be presumed also have something to do with the opening of the year. Although, however, there was a general popular regard to the 1st of January as the beginning of the year, the ancient Jewish year, which opened with the 25th of March, continued long to have a legal position in Christian countries. In England, it was not till 1752 that the 1st of January became the initial day of the legal, as it had long been of the popular year. Before that time, it was customary to set down dates between the 1st of January and the 24th of March inclusive. Thus, January 30th, 1648 to 49, meaning that popularly the year was 1649, but legally 1648. In Scotland, the desirable change was made by a decree of James VI and Privy Council in the year 1600. It was effected in France in 1564, in Holland, Protestant Germany, and in Russia in 1700, and in Sweden in 1753. Characteristics of January. The deity Janus was represented by the Romans as a man with 2 faces, one looking backwards, the other forwards, implying that he stood between the old and the new year with regard to both. To this circumstance, the English poet Cotton alludes in the following lines. Hark, the cock crows, and yon bright star tells us the day himself's not far. And see where, breaking from the night, he gilds the western hills with light. With him old Janus sloth appear, peeping into the future year, with such a look as seems to say, the prospect is not good that way. Thus do we rise, ill sights to see, and against ourselves to prophesy, when the prophetic fear of things a more tormenting mischief brings, more full of soul-tormenting gall than direst mischiefs can befall. But stay, methinks my sight, better informed by clearer light, discerns sereneness in that brow, that all contracted seemed but now. His reversed face may shew distaste, and frown upon the ills are past, but that which this way looks is clear, and smiles upon the newborn year. January is notably, in our northern hemisphere, the coldest month in the year. The country people in England state the fact in their usual strong way. Jan a veer freeze the pot upon the fear. They even insist that the cold rather increases than decreases during the course of the month, notwithstanding the return of the sun from the Tropic of Capricorn, remarking, "As the day lengthens, the cold strengthens." Or, as it is given in Germany, where the same ideal prevails, "Wenn der Tag beginnen zu langen, dann kommen erst der Winter gegangen." The fact being, we suppose that it only does so in some instances, while those of an opposite character pass unnoticed. In the middle of the month, the sun at London is only 8 hours and 20 minutes, at Edinburgh 7 hours and 34 minutes above the horizon. There is a liability to severe and lasting frosts and to heavy falls of snow. Vegetation lies dead and is usually sore times for the animal creation. The farmer has his bestial, including the sheep, if he keeps any, much upon his hands for artificial supplies. The birds of the field and wood, reduced to great extremities, come near to the residence of men in the hope of picking up a little food. The robin is especially remarkable for this forced familiarity. In usually severe seasons, many birds perish of cold and hunger, and consequently, when the spring comes on, there is a marked diminution of that burst of sylvan song which usually makes the season so cheerful. When frost occurs without a snowfall, what is called in the north a black frost, the ground, wholly without protection, becomes hard for several inches deep. In Canada, it is sometimes frozen 3 feet down, so that any sort of building not founded considerably deeper is sure to be dislodged at the next thaw. Even a macadamized road will be broken up and wholly ruined from this cause. In our country and on the continent of Europe, a snowless frost gives the means of several amusements, which the rural people are enabled with good conscience to indulge in, as being thrown off from all more serious employments by the state of the ground. Now in the Netherlands and where the Rhine, branched out in many a long canal extends, from every province swarming, void of care, Batavia rushes forth, and as they sweep on sounding skates 1,000 different ways, encircling pose, swift as the winds along, then the gay land is maddened all to joy. Nor less the northern courts, wide over the snow, pour a new pomp, eager on rapid sleds, their vigorous youth and bold contention wheel the long resounding course, meantime to raise the manly strife with high blooming charms, flushed by the season, Scandinavia's dames, or Russia's buxom daughters glow around. Thomson. There you have it, some excerpts from Chambers' The Book of Days regarding the month of January. Till tomorrow.